Mount Fairweather, 14,000 plus feet high. And the third picture there, you see the source of the Lamplugh Glacier. You didn't go to Glacier Bay, but one of the two places that we go in Glacier Bay is the Lamplugh Glacier, and that is where it starts, up near Mount Fairweather. Then, right there in that tiny picture on the left side, that's the entrance to Icy Straits. So when you come off the Pacific Ocean, typically, we come into Icy Straits and then up into Glacier Bay, then over into Skagway, down into Juneau, and then they usually take me off the ship right there. This time, I boarded in Juneau, and that's our ship. That's the Ruby Princess. We don't usually approach the airport from the south, but this time we did, so it took a little bit longer. We were early, and as we came over Gastineau Channel, I was sitting in the right place to capture pictures of the cruise ships that were docked at the time in our harbor. Then leaving, it was rather exciting. We always leave to the south because the North Passage is covered and there's only passage for small boats occasionally. So this is Sandy Beach. That over there, the breakwater, is where I was sitting when the Hawaiian voyaging canoe, the Hawaii Loa, came to visit Southeast Alaska a couple of decades ago. I was sitting on those rocks looking at the Hawaii Loa come in. We were excited because my native corporation donated the 2 Sitka spruce trees that they used to carve the canoe. And as they came forward, there was a young couple sitting behind me with their children looking up north. I wonder where they are. So I had to tell them, actually, turn around, they're coming from the south. They turned around and saw them beach, up on Sandy Beach. And then I thought I would show you, because not too far down the left there was my home when I lived in Juneau. So it's hard to see up there because it's covered with trees, but that is where my home was located when I lived in Juneau. This is Tlingit. I say that I was raised as kind of a free-range Tlingit boy. I got that phrase when I saw my grandson, you'll see a picture of him a little bit later, who lives in Australia with his mother and his father, and he's kind of a free-range little guy. He gets to walk around without supervision on their home. He doesn't get to go out on the street. But I got to walk around without supervision in the whole community of Cordova, Alaska. When I was raised there, everybody seemed like they were relatives. I couldn't go anywhere and do anything bad without my mother knowing about it before I made it back home. Any of you ever raised like that? It seems like mothers have an intuition. But in this case, it was reinforced by the party line telephone. They would just have to call up and say, Patsy, your boy is whatever I was doing at the time. So I defined that as growing up as a free-range Tlingit boy because it was different than growing up today like my children did. I was free to go lots of places. I was free to explore. I was free to learn. And I had a lot of elders surrounding us. So you probably haven't seen it yet, but there is a plant that grows. It stands about that high and it has a great big white flower button on it. We call that Yana 8. It is a cowslip. It's actually kind of poisonous plant. When it's picked like that, it can kill you. If you handle it, it'll make you itch for a long time. But before it hits 8 inches long, it's a part of the Tlingit season, part of our circular time, springtime when it grows, when you haven't had fresh vegetables or fruits or anything like that for a long time. It can be peeled and it's edible. I got to do that. We also had rhubarb. Rhubarb is not native to Alaska, but it grows here, and I would pick a bunch in Cordova, and I learned very quickly that if you brought a little kid's armful to one of your aunties, the next time you went over, you could get rhubarb, stewed rhubarb. You learn quickly when you get rewarded with things like that. So free-range Tlingit boy who changed But what I'm going to do first is kind of introduce you to a few Tlingit